The month of April is coming on strong, so are you freaked out because you're an influencer, entrepreneur, small business owner, any form of business owner, and now you're overwhelmed by the blank page that is the upcoming month? Well, let me share with you my April-centric content marketing planning method, and if you use it, you'll save yourself a lot of overwhelm and frustration, especially while you try your best to balance your busy personal and professional life over and above your content planning, creation, optimization, and publication efforts. It's super easy, and it'll make sure that you have both your relationship marketing and straight up sales-based marketing bases covered for the month of April. Okay, so here I am looking at my calendar for the month of April without much of anything loaded onto it. It doesn't matter if you use Google Calendar or you use any other kind of digital calendar system. Whatever works for you, just work it. Don't overthink things. Okay, so in my case, the purple colored dates or events that you're seeing are the holidays that, in my case, the Google Calendar has preloaded onto it. So that's fine. I'll leave those there. That might inform whatever content marketing I do organically, what I create on my own and publish immediately after, anything I might say in live streams that I do on those days, anything that I'll have done in advance and scheduled out through the popularity plan for April. That's my digital download asset pack that's loaded with 100 or more graphics in it, most of which are April-centric. So that helps, especially if you're a solopreneur or you're a small business owner, you're running a mom and pop shop, what have you, and you're doing all or most of your content marketing on your own for your business. And something like all those graphics would help you cover your base better. Plus, each month's popularity pack comes with templates and or swipe files for a weekly email. In this case, 1 email a week for you to send out in the month of April. And it also comes with, in the same pack, 15 swipe files for social media post captions that go with some of the graphics that might have to do with some of these days that you're seeing or other April-centric days that are in the popularity pack itself. So for Calendar Pass 1, I'm starting out with an almost clean template to work from here, just starting off with the holidays that Google thinks is important. So next, let's add in some days that I have to take into account as I plan out my content marketing for the month of April. And these days are kind of more practical to take into consideration. Okay, on to Calendar Pass number 2. This pass is all about you being realistic about real life, your personal life, and balancing it with your business and marketing on behalf of your business. Okay, so in this case, my case anyway, I had barely any dates to worry about in April when it comes to school, other than spring break, and that's a big chunk of time that I have to, more actively balance work and home-based responsibilities simultaneously, and I need to take that into account because if I don't, well, not much work is going to get done or not that much marketing, and then my income will drop. Kind of common sense, right? If I'm not marketing and selling actively during the period of spring break in this case. So look, if you're an entrepreneur parent, you should just plug in any days when school is scheduled to be closed, whether it's because of a holiday, Superintendent's Day, a big break like spring break in this case, half days from school, whatever. Number 1, you should want to keep track of these days, right? But number 2, from an entrepreneur perspective, a content marketing perspective, if you're like me, you don't have a professionally soundproof studio or what have you. So you may want to or need to have a quiet house to create content in. And if the kids are home, not much is going to happen or happen quietly. And or you really want to spend quality time with your kids and plan that out, right? So you'll want to maybe plan ahead for when you create your content so that those days are off limits. Or you'll have to create more content in batches, batch recording, batch creation, what have you, so that you don't have to sweat having to come up with content or staying on a publishing schedule for YouTube content, podcast content, and so on. You'll have done the work ahead of time, and you'll schedule everything out so that you can, in advance, have those bases covered so that when your kid or kids are home from school all day or they come home super early, you're fine, they're fine, and you've covered your marketing base for the coming days where things might not be so quiet, right? You want a situation where everyone's spending quality time together instead of you shushing them all day long, or you're getting a headache because you can't concentrate and you're feeling pressure because you have to create content and get it out. Then, when you plan ahead, you can get work done and they won't feel like, they being your kids, your family members, they won't feel like your business always comes first, you're not fighting with each other, and so on. Fail to plan, plan to fail. All right, let's move on to calendar pass number 3. Okay, here we are at calendar pass number 3. I always tell my students, if you want to make more money as an entrepreneur, you have to make more offers. And if you want to be taken seriously as a business or a business owner, you have to sell. You're helping your clientele to solve problems and or satisfy desires. So selling is helping. Entrepreneurs are paid to help other people solve their problems, to get out of pain and into pleasure. So you've got to plug in the dates of sales you want to have, product launches you're going to do, affiliate marketing campaigns you'll focus on, sponsorship deals where you're creating content live or pre-recorded, and you schedule them out for deployment. No matter what business model you're running, creator, influencer, products, services, whatever you're selling, and no matter who you're selling it to, no matter what, you should have at least 2 sales-based or income-producing promotions a month at a minimum. My 6- and 7-figure students are obviously doing way more than 2 promotions a month. Some are every week having a sale or income-based promotion, depending upon what their business model is. It could also be daily, that they're making offers. But let's get real. You only do a launch once a month or a straight-up sales-based promotion once a month. How much money can you really make in most cases? So in this example, I've just plugged in 2 April-based sales promotions into my calendar for you to see as an example. And while I've color-coded school day closures as red, my sales-based promotion days are color-coded dark green or money green. So now I know as I go into the next month that I've covered the minimum base of 2 promotions for when my sales-based activities are going to happen. And of course, I'll have to prepare as much in advance as possible any straight-up sales-based content to announce the sales that are going to occur, or the fact that enrollment's open, or cart's gonna close, that sort of thing. I'll have to schedule in or factor in time to create those sales-based sort of emails and social media content, what have you. But I also have to keep in mind, and so should you, about creating content that will create intrigue, stir the pot, and warm up my audience ideally before I or you just go out and launch headlong into sell mode. I've got to calendar block out additional time in which to create and schedule out the sales-based content in advance, as much of it as possible. And I recommend you do the same thing so that suddenly, you're not in the position where the dates come up for sales-based promotions and you're not, left getting out the word the last minute, because that's going to affect your sales and not in a good way if you let that sort of stuff go until the last minute. So you have to plan for all of that out in advance too. On to calendar pass number 4. Okay, calendar pass number 4. Calendar pass number 4 is simple. I want to make sure that I'm loading in to my calendar any birthdays, anniversaries, special events, weddings, showers, get-togethers, whatever, into my calendar so that, just like with the school closure days, I know when I'm not available to do things live, when I have to make sure I definitely have content created and scheduled out to cover those dates in advance. So this way, I'm still persistently and consistently content marketing and covering my base while living my life. This way, I keep whatever email, VIPs, and brand-based social media following that I have happy and well attended to, with ideally fresh content on the daily, maybe on the weekly for things like YouTube, blog posts, podcasts, but seriously, on the daily for at least the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to my niche, and same advice to you for your niche. And on days where I have other commitments in my personal life, I can do them, be present, enjoy myself, and not feel like one part of my life is suffering at the expense of another. So hopefully this advice helps you to plan everything out in advance as much as you can and do the same. On to calendar pass number 5 as we plan out a lot of the rest of our content marketing for the month of April. Calendar pass number 5. Okay, last stop. I spoke about covering a social media content marketing daily base. Not everywhere, just the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to your niche. As you get more profitable, you grow a team, you can spread out to more and more social media platforms if you like to increase the public's discoverability of your brand. As you can see here, I've got a lot of dates covered with this 5th calendar pass. I've got April-centric holidays, tentpole events, special days, what have you, plugged in to serve as inspiration for my content creation on those days. Plus, I can use my own popularity plan April Digital Assets Pack to do a lot of the heavy lifting for me when it comes to graphics, social media post captions, and more, so that I'm not creating everything from scratch. So as you can see in this banana yellow color, I've got a lot of bases covered, a lot of content that I can create, and a lot of talking points to keep the brand-based community and email list that I have currently amassed happy, and I can remain top of mind with them. But if I optimize my posts properly, I can get on the radar screen of potential new clients in a variety of ways as well. Nice, right? Am I going to put out additional content on at least some of these days? Sure I am, but I have been in business as a coach for 10 years, and in more recent years, I've gotten a small but mighty team to help me edit videos and design graphics. If you do not have that, that's okay. You can get a team down the road if that's what you want, but in the meantime, you've got to schedule and or calendar block additional days into your content calendar where you have to batch plan, batch create, and or batch record, and batch schedule out content for publication. With or without the popularity plan, you can do it. You just have to plan for all of this activity and then follow through on the work that's required. But if success was easy, everyone would do it, right? Every entrepreneur would be rich, wouldn't they? So I didn't say any of this stuff is easy, especially if you don't have the popularity plan to help you for April, but it can be a whole lot easier on you personally and or professionally if you plan ahead and you put in the work that needs to be put in. This method is one that you can use to cover all of your bases for relationship marketing, straight up sales-based marketing, all of it for April. And whether you're doing everything from scratch or not, at least now you have a blueprint for how your business is going to run throughout March. And you'll know how much content you need to do in order to cover all of the marketing and selling you need for your business to succeed in the month of April too. I'm all about teaching influencers, entrepreneurs, all sorts of business owners, all about content marketing that converts. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and watch this next video that YouTube thinks you'd really like.